Yo, we are here with the movies I watched during June. We don't have many. I think we have like seven here. I mean, we definitely have seven. You can look and count it, but but we don't really have that many. But yeah, I mean, some of them are pretty good, and there's some that aren't that great. But either way, we might as well get started with the first one. I decided to finally watch like the 28 days weeks later, both those movies. I was going to watch a 28 years movie, but I didn't have time to go see it yet. So oh yeah, one other movie I was planning to watch, but I kind of got, it's more like I just didn't watch it. But I was gonna watch that K-pop Demon Hunter movie, but I ended up like not watching that. I'm not a K-pop individual, I'm sorry. But either way, I'll probably do that. I'll probably think about it next month. But either way, 28 days later. Yeah, obviously, like I said, I mainly watched this because I was going to watch, 28, years later, and I haven't obviously seen either or of the two here. So, I was excited to check it out, as well as, I'm a fan of Cillian Murphy's like works, so I'm excited. Think he's like a really great actor so far. But while I was watching this, I completely forgot that the people that were like, the creatures, they aren't zombies, but are just people that are infected with the rage virus. So I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Why are they popping up so randomly and shit like that? But it's quite literally because they're all acting upon rage. So like that kind of annoyed the fuck out of me. But it's well, again, because it's I kind of forgot that. So it didn't really. Once I remembered to lock the fuck in and remember that shit, it wasn't really that bad. So yeah, it all makes sense. But great movie. I'll say this like a 7 out of 10 in my personal opinion. I'll probably put this in A tier. I'll go for A tier. There's like I'd probably say like just one or two above it. Probably one. Yeah, one above it, yeah. But moving on to 28 weeks later, I am kind of disappointed in this one. It was kind of just like a completely inferior version to the first one. I don't know if like 28 weeks later or anything like matters to like 28 years later, but it might, so I watched it. But yeah. I don't know, but the real question is, how long do y'all think it would take the current US to sweep Britain and like Europe, where all the where the infected was, right? How long would you think it would take? Because like realistically, I feel like we could do it in like a month max. Like we swept Britain and killed all the infected. I feel like current America, I mean, realistically, we just bomb the fucking country. Realistically, we'd do basically what we did in like 28 like weeks later. We'd isolate Britain and shit, or like the where it was in Europe, and just absolutely bomb the fuck out of it. Like, let's be honest, that's what we'd fucking do, without a doubt. But either way, inferior version to the first one. Shit only went bad because the Doyle guy, like the fucking, I don't really remember his like his full name, but his name's Doyle or whatever. He's basically just a coward and a fucking idiot. So yeah, that shit annoyed me. So I'm gonna put this shit in like a fucking C tier. That shit's mid. Hopefully 28 years later is pretty good. I know Aaron Taylor Johnson's in it. I like Aaron Taylor Johnson. Sad, he basically got like he had to like shit on Kraven the Hunter. I thought Kraven the Hunter was decent, but again, it was more like, Sony's being weird and not letting like fucking Marvel use the characters, but whatever. But beside the point. Anyways, we're moving on to Thunderbolts. Actually a surprising movie. This was significantly better than I thought it was. I was not expecting to actually like care for this movie at all, because honestly, none of the characters outside of Bucky were any interest of me. Like, I did not watch Captain America and the Winter Soldier, the one with like, you know, Sam Wilson and Bucky fighting that, like, you know, insurgent group or whatever. I didn't watch that. I didn't watch the Hawkeye series where Yelena showed up. And yeah, it's like, I didn't really care for some of these characters, dog. But, you know, Sentry was dope as fuck, obviously, including the Void. That shit was sick. This is easily a B tier movie. I do think that it could have been better, but again, what I'm mainly waiting for is the motherfucking Fantastic Four movie. That shit better hit, bro. If it don't hit, I'm gonna be disappointed, bro. I'll be disappointed, bro. Severely disappointed. But anyways, great movie. I guess we can also say, like, Thunderbolts, you know, with the asterisk, it's actually called The New Avengers. So we got the real title for it at the way end, you know. Moving on, we got Predator Killer of Killers, which I reacted to, by the way. So if you want to get, you know, see my reaction of Predator Killer of the Killers, yeah, that makes sense. Killer of Killers, it's on the channel. It's honestly relatively recently, since this is dropping on the 30th. It's a couple of videos back, you know. You just have to go check. I dropped it all, like, initially in parts, like, you know, what the hell were the parts? It's like the shield, the sword, the bullet, and I think I just called the last part the end. And then I put them all into one big video, which is like 28 minutes. So if you want to go watch those all, you know, support the channel, there you go. But yeah, I thought this was a really great movie. Honestly, probably like the best movie I watched this month. But I don't really say it, like, think like any of the movies I watched this month were an S tier, you know. Like, I had problems with a lot of the movies I watched this month. Like The Bullet, like that portion of the Predator Killer of Killers was honestly my least favorite of the movie, which you can probably tell based on how, like, the duration of the actual episodes that I uploaded. That shit's like 3 minutes compared to like the 8 to 10 minutes of the other parts. So yeah, but either way, moving on. Probably, no, without a doubt, the worst movie I watched this month, Until Dawn. My biggest problem with this fucking movie is that Until Dawn, the game, is quite literally a long interactive horror movie. So they could have just fucking adapted it properly and made a fucking fantastic movie. They already had all the actors there. Like, all the actors in the game could have participated. I don't know if, like, anything happened on any of them, if they were into controversy or anything. But, like, again, all the characters that they could, like, the source material was literally perfect for a horror movie. Like, all the twists and turns would have made an immaculate 2.5 hour movie. Without a doubt. Hell, they could have made multiple movies. Like, come on. I watched this shit. I never played Until Dawn, but I watched the game through fucking Berlizzi, bro. And we all know what happened with Berlizzi's ending, bro. No! 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 We all know what that motherfucker did, bro. But again, this would have been easy ass, like, movie to make. All you had to do was adapt it properly, but they didn't do that. Terrible fucking movie. Just absolutely ridiculous. They took like a bunch of like the components, like the Wendigos, and they got the fucking design for Josh's face mask, but then they made him supernatural, which he was not. But yeah, it's ridiculous. Mediocre ass movie. But anyways, last two, we have The Death and Return of Superman. From what I recall, I watched The Death of Superman, but I've never watched The Return of Superman, so I just decided to watch this because I remember that there was two movies, but they decided to combine it. So I mean, I watched this. Pretty solid movie, honestly. Easy A tier, I'd say. Yeah, I'd say that. Moving on to the last movie I got here is another DC movie. It's Batman Ninja versus the Yakuza League, which honestly, fantastic or a pretty decent sequel, I should say. Pretty decent sequel to Batman Ninja, which I highly recommend y'all go check out. That shit was crazy. I'd say a lot better than this movie too. My problem with it is that they set up this humongous ass plot point with Gorilla God and then just sort of dropped it and never acted like it happened at all. So that kind of like, you know, lowered my score of it to like a B tier. It would have been a great A tier, but it was going in the B tier. But if I watch Batman Ninja this month, that shit would be an S tier, because I rewatched Batman Ninja to watch Batman Ninja versus Yakuza League. Banger. Another movie I was gonna watch but couldn't get to watch it because I think it just aired yesterday was the Miss Kobayashi movie. You haven't gotten to watch that. That's definitely gonna be next month for sure. I feel like next month's gonna have a lot more movies. Hopefully, you know, I can watch some more. But yeah, I didn't watch that many this month, but for the most majority of them, I enjoyed the movies I watched this month. So yeah, what's the favorite movie you watched this month? I'd probably say mine is Killer of Killers, without a doubt. It wasn't my my favorite movie, but it was the best movie I watched this month, in my personal opinion. With 28 Days Later, it was a close second, you know, only because, you know, Killer of Killers was just like insane. 28 Days Later was just depressing, and you know, it was just like, it's a whole different, you know, feeling, you know. But yeah, let me know what you watch this month. Anyways, I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I'll see you all next month.